Curious about the dinner dishes from the 1980s that used to fill our plates but have now faded away, leaving us longing to relive the magic? Join us as we reminisce about 20 dinners that were the stars of our evening gatherings. Get ready to feel hungry and a little sentimental too. Number 20. Crown Roast of Lamb. Crown roast of lamb is a special dish often saved for big celebrations and holiday gatherings. This majestic dish involves arranging lamb racks in a circular shape that looks like a crown, with the ribs pointing upward. It's seasoned with a mix of rosemary, garlic, and thyme, both in the marinade and as a rub before roasting, to boost its flavor and keep it juicy. The center of the crown is usually filled with a stuffing made of breadcrumbs, minced garlic, herbs, and sometimes dried fruits like apricots or cranberries. The lamb is roasted until it's tender and has a beautifully browned outside. Tying the racks together precisely ensures the roast cooks evenly for a perfect presentation. Chefs often cover the rib tips with foil during roasting to avoid charring. This dish not only impresses as a delicious meal, but also serves as a festive centerpiece, symbolizing celebration and feasting. Number 19. Cornish game hen. A Cornish game hen is a small and fancy type of poultry, usually weighing no more than 2 pounds. It's great for individual servings, perfect for a fancy dinner. These hens are typically roasted whole, lightly seasoned with herbs like thyme and sage, and basted in butter to get a crispy golden skin while keeping the meat juicy and tender. The inside can be stuffed with a tasty mix of breadcrumbs, chopped vegetables, and herbs, adding flavor during cooking. The cooking method usually involves high-temperature roasting to crisp the skin, followed by a resting period to keep the meat moist. Serving Cornish game hens on a bed of wild rice or with roasted vegetables highlights their delicate flavors, making them a popular choice for special occasions and intimate dining because of their perfect portion size and attractive presentation. Number 18. Minted lamb with jelly. Minted lamb with jelly combines the rich taste of roasted lamb with the fresh zest of mint jelly, making it a classic British dish often enjoyed during spring and Easter. The tradition of pairing mint with lamb dates back to medieval England, where the herb's lively flavor complemented the lamb's slight gaminess. This dish usually involves roasting a leg or shoulder of lamb, seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic, and rosemary to keep the meat juicy and tender. The mint jelly, made of mint, sugar, and vinegar, provides a sweet and tangy contrast that enhances the lamb's deep flavors. This dish showcases the British culinary style of pairing robust meat with a vibrant acidic condiment for a balanced and satisfying meal. Number 17. Oysters Rockefeller. Oysters Rockefeller features tasty oysters on the half shell, topped with a rich, buttery mix of finely chopped herbs and breadcrumbs, then baked or broiled until golden. The dish originated in 1899 at Antoine's in New Orleans, one of America's historic restaurants. The exact recipe is a secret, but it usually includes spinach, celery, and sometimes in a nice flavored liqueur, creating a luxurious topping. The oysters are gently poached in their shells to keep them moist, then topped with this seasoned blend. After assembling, they are broiled until the topping bubbles and brown slightly, giving a nice contrast between the creamy, tender oyster and the crisp, flavorful topping. Oysters Rockefeller is not only delicious but also a creative celebration of local ingredients, turning simple oysters into a decadent culinary experience. Number 16. Chicken Tetrazzini. Named after Italian opera singer Luisa Tetrazzini, chicken tetrazzini was created by chef Ernest Arbogast at the Palace Hotel in San Francisco in the early 1900s. This American dish combines diced chicken and mushrooms with linguine or spaghetti in a rich, creamy sauce, often enhanced with a splash of wine or sherry. It's topped with grated Parmesan and baked until a golden crust forms. The wine or sherry not only adds flavor, but also balances the cream's richness with its acidity. The dish is usually finished with a sprinkle of parsley or paprika for visual appeal and added flavor. Despite its simple ingredients, chicken tetrazzini can be varied with additions like almonds or pimentos, enhancing its taste and texture. It's a tasty meal and a great way to use leftover chicken or turkey. Number 15. Aspic glazed meatloaf. Aspic glazed meatloaf is a mid-20th century American dish that combines traditional meatloaf with a gelatinous aspic topping. This dish reflects a time when aspic, a savory jelly made from clarified meat broths and gelatin, was popular for preserving and enhancing the presentation of food. The meatloaf is usually made with ground meat, often a mix of beef and pork, seasoned with onions, garlic, breadcrumbs, and eggs to hold it together. After baking, the meatloaf is cooled and glazed with a clear aspic made from beef or chicken stock mixed with gelatin. This glaze not only gives a glossy, attractive finish, but also adds a subtle savory flavor that complements the rich meatloaf. The aspic also helps keep the meatloaf moist and flavorful by sealing in the juices. Number 14. Galantine of chicken. Galantine of chicken showcases the elaborate artistry of classical French cuisine, popular in the 17th century. It involves a careful process where a whole chicken is deboned and stuffed with a seasoned mix of ground meat, fats, and spices, often including luxurious ingredients like pistachios and truffles. The chicken is then wrapped back in its skin, poached in a flavorful stock, and cooled in the gelatin-rich cooking liquid to form a jelly. Decorated with artistic slices of vegetables, herbs, or edible flowers and coated in a shiny aspic, galantine is served cold, making it an impressive centerpiece for buffets and banquets. This dish highlights the culinary skills of detailed butchery, seasoning, and beautiful presentation. Number 13. Sole meunière. Sole meunière is a dish that brings out the natural flavors of sole fish through simple, precise preparation. A sole fillet is lightly coated with flour and then pan-fried in butter until golden brown. After cooking, it's topped with a sauce made from the pan's browned butter, fresh lemon juice, and chopped parsley, which enhances its delicate sweet taste. Freshness and quality of the sole are crucial, ideally prepared soon after being caught. This dish highlights the importance of fresh ingredients in French cooking. The preparation preserves the fish's natural flavors, subtly complemented by nutty brown butter and bright lemon juice. Sole, a flat fish with a fine texture and mild flavor, cooks quickly and evenly, making sole meunière revered for its elegant simplicity. Number 12. Peach chicken. Peach chicken became popular in the 1970s as Americans began mixing fruit with savory dishes. This recipe blends the sweetness of peaches with the savory taste of chicken, creating a delightful contrast. Brown chicken pieces are simmered with fresh or canned peaches, with ginger and cinnamon adding a spicy touch to complement the sweetness. Peach preserves or syrup can be added to make the sauce richer. Sometimes, a splash of bourbon or brandy is included for a smoky flavor. The sauce is usually thickened with cornstarch, giving it a glossy finish that coats the chicken nicely. This dish shows how versatile chicken is, combining sweet and savory flavors in a uniquely American way. Number 11. Veal Prince Orloff. Veal Prince Orloff is a fancy dish that combines French and Russian culinary elegance. Named after Russian diplomat Prince Orloff, who lived in France in the 19th century, it was created by famous French chef Urbain Dubois. The dish aims to impress with its sophisticated layers and flavors. It features slices of roasted veal loin, layered with sautéed mushrooms and onions, and slices of eggplant enriched with Mornay sauce. The whole dish is topped with more Mornay sauce and baked until bubbly and golden. This intricate preparation highlights the delicate flavors of veal and the creamy texture of the sauce, making it a standout in both taste and presentation. Number 10. Duck à l'orange. Duck à l'orange combines the rich flavors of duck with the sharp zest of oranges, a pairing that dates back to the Renaissance but became popular in Paris in the early 20th century. This classic dish features roasted duck with perfectly crispy skin, served with a sweet and tangy orange sauce made from fresh orange juice, sugar, vinegar, and sometimes Grand Marnier. To make perfect duck à l'orange, special care is taken to render the fat from the duck's skin so it crisps up beautifully, contrasting with the juicy meat underneath. The sauce is usually prepared separately, reduced to a thick syrup, and drizzled over the duck just before serving to keep its bold, vibrant flavors. This dish masterfully balances the duck's rich fat with the bright, acidic citrus notes, showcasing refined cooking techniques. Number 9. Rabbit stew. Rabbit stew is a popular traditional dish in various cultures, known for being hearty and comforting. It typically includes tender pieces of rabbit slow-cooked with onions, garlic, and herbs like rosemary or thyme, which enhance the rabbit's mild flavor. Vegetables like carrots, celery, and potatoes are often added, making it a filling one-pot meal. The stewing liquid, usually wine or stock, adds depth and richness as it cooks. Rabbit meat, which is lean and delicate, becomes very tender and infused with the flavors of the broth and vegetables through slow cooking. Rabbit stew is especially enjoyed during the colder months or in rural areas where rabbit is commonly available. Number 8. Coq au vin. Coq au vin is a rich, comforting dish made by slowly cooking chicken with wine. Originally used to tenderize tough roosters, modern recipes use chicken marinated and then braised in red wine with mushrooms, onions, garlic, and herbs. The chicken is first seared until golden, then simmered slowly in wine, which adds a smoky depth of flavor. This French cooking technique starts with a high-heat sear followed by gentle, prolonged cooking in a covered pot, allowing the flavors to blend and enhance the meat. The choice of wine is important, as it forms the flavorful sauce that deeply seasons the chicken, turning it into a hearty, satisfying stew that showcases rustic yet refined French cooking. Number 7. Chicken Marengo. Chicken Marengo has a famous place in culinary history, said to have been made for Napoleon after the Battle of Marengo. This dish showcases the creativity of using local ingredients. It starts with chicken pieces sautéed in olive oil, then braised with onions, garlic, and tomatoes, and enriched with a splash of white wine that deglazes the pan to create a rich sauce. Mushrooms are often added, and traditionally it was garnished with fried eggs and crayfish, though these are less common now. The slow simmering allows all the flavors to blend, with the tomatoes breaking down to form a savory sauce that complements the tender chicken. This dish exemplifies French provincial cooking, using simple techniques and local ingredients to create a meal rich in history and flavor. Number 6. Anchovy butter steaks. Anchovy butter steaks are a daring dish that combines the savory depth of anchovies with the delicious flavors of juicy steak. Popularized in mid-20th century America, this dish is for those who enjoyed bold flavor combinations. The steak, usually a marbled ribeye or sirloin, is seasoned simply and seared perfectly. Then, a mixture of softened butter, finely minced anchovies, garlic, and sometimes a hint of lemon zest or herbs, known as anchovy butter, is spread over the hot steak. This butter melts into the steak, adding salty and intense anchovy flavors that enhance the natural beefiness. The strong taste of anchovies complements the steak's luxurious richness, creating a dining experience that's both flavorful and elegant. Number 5. Beef bourguignon. Beef bourguignon is a classic dish from Burgundy, France, involving marinated and slow-cooked beef chunks, usually tougher cuts like chuck, soaked in red wine, typically Burgundy, to tenderize them over several hours. This hearty stew is packed with onions, garlic, and carrots, and enriched with sautéed mushrooms and crisp bacon. Historically, this method likely developed as a way to tenderize and enhance less desirable cuts of meat. The stew develops a rich, deep umami flavor from the Maillard reaction, which happens as the beef browns, and the complex flavors intensify as the wine slowly blends with the herbs and vegetables. The slow cooking not only enriches the stew's flavor, but also fills the kitchen with a comforting, inviting aroma, making beef bourguignon a symbol of rich French culinary tradition. Number 4. Lamb shanks. Lamb shanks represent the rich flavors and tender textures found in Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisines. Valued for their gelatin-rich connective tissue, lamb shanks become incredibly tender when slow cooked. The preparation begins by searing the shanks until golden brown, which locks in flavors through caramelization. They are then slowly braised in a mixture of wine, stock, and aromatics like onions, carrots, and celery, enhanced with herbs such as rosemary and thyme. This method not only tenderizes the meat but also infuses it with a robust blend of flavors. Typically, the dish is finished with a sprinkle of gremolata, adding a fresh burst of lemon, garlic, and parsley that cuts through the richness. The braising liquid serves as a deeply flavored sauce, reduced to intensify its taste, complementing the richness of the lamb with a perfect balance of flavors. Number 3. Pork belly with cracklings. Pork belly with cracklings is known for its luxurious flavors and contrasting textures, coming from the rich layers of meat and fat in pork belly. The process starts by scoring the skin and rubbing it with a mixture of salt, pepper, and aromatic herbs or spices to add flavor. The meat is slow roasted at a low temperature to melt the fat and make the meat tender, followed by a quick blast of high heat to crisp the skin into cracklings. This method keeps the pork belly juicy while making the outer skin delightfully crispy. It's often served in thick slices with applesauce or a cider reduction, balancing the pork's richness with a touch of sweet acidity. The appeal of pork belly with cracklings lies in its depth of flavors and the satisfying contrast between tender meat and crispy skin. Number 2. Tornadoes Rossini. Tornadoes Rossini is a lavish dish that reflects haute cuisine. Named after the gourmet aficionado and renowned composer Gioacchino Rossini, it was created by the legendary chef Auguste Escoffier in Paris. This dish consists of a medallion of beef tenderloin cooked in butter and topped with a slice of sumptuous foie gras, resting on a crouton to absorb the juices. The tornadoes is then generously coated with a rich Madeira demi-glace, infused with truffles, and finished with butter, garnished with fresh truffle slices. The preparation of this dish requires precision, with the beef tenderloin seared to perfection, the foie gras just melting, and the sauce thoroughly coating each component. Tornadoes Rossini not only highlights the luxury of its ingredients but also the skill in combining them to create a dish that is as extravagant in taste as it is in history. Number 1. Tater Tots. Tater tots certainly evoke a sense of nostalgia for many, especially those who grew up in the 1980s. They were a staple of school lunches, family dinners, and after-school snacks. There's something comforting about their crispy exterior and soft interior. It's fascinating how certain foods can become so intertwined with memories of a particular era. Tater tots were more than just a side dish. They were a cultural phenomenon, often associated with busy parents looking for quick and easy meal options. Bringing back forgotten dinners from the 1980s could be a fun culinary adventure. Alongside tater tots, dishes like Salisbury steak, TV dinners, and casseroles were also prevalent during that time. Perhaps a modern twist on these classics could reignite interest and nostalgia among today's foodies. Did this video make you crave nostalgic foods? If so, give it a like, click subscribe, and stay tuned for more trips down memory lane.